Camera's on you, or it would be if you were plugged in. You are plugged in. Weird. There is a technical difficulty.
We interrupt your regular scheduled program for a technical difficulty.
Let's see. 17, 14.
Listen,
That's good.
we're professionals here. I think we're professionals. I hope so. Looks like we're going. Showing we're going. Let's see if the next couple minutes it decides it wants to update.
Hey.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that.
There you are. Look at that. Professional.
It's not the word I would use.
Fair enough. I didn't say it was good professional.
That's just a profession.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, what else? What more do you want from me?
You're good.
Hopefully I'm good. I never know at this point. At this
No.
point, I play by the. At this point, I just play by here, see what happens.
Flick it over to you.
I will. On me. Look at that. Look at that. See, here we are. Anyways, what did you do for entertainment this week?
Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Not. I didn't do jack shit.
Didn't work on anything in the house. None of that.
I had no motivation, if I'm being honest.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
100% lack of motivation for anything.
A lack of motivation.
It was very nice. It was like, nah, it's good. I'm just gonna chill.
So you get to relax then.
I did. I relaxed. Well, there's Christian. He's there.
Oh,
Christian's here.
man, he hopped in.
From the northern exposure.
How's the boat?
That is his life.
Did he fly out there or did he take a cruise? My taser's not working. Oh, there it is.
I would hope he flew. That boat ride's a bit much. It's like 5 days.
My mom wants to take that cruise, and she offered for me to go.
To the Great White North.
Yeah, and part of me, because my grandfather wanted to go, and it's his dream, and that's why she's doing it. And she kind of has the same idea of going, and part of me is thinking about it. The other part's like, I don't like the ocean. That's a big area of nothing I want to deal with.
The big blue wet thing. You don't like the big blue wet thing.
I don't like what's in the big blue wet thing that I know nothing about. We know more about the stars than we do the sea, apparently.
Yes, because it's the ocean.
Yeah.
Ocean's dangerous.
Casey, it's looking a little unruly down here.
It's a little squirrely over there.
Yeah.
Only slightly. But yeah, I just
Afraid to take anything out.
I just don't know if I would like to be on a boat and think about whatever's in the water.
Christian says fuck boats. That's why he didn't join the Navy.
That is a good point.
I mean, a cruise boat's different than like a small boat. It's just a big hotel on water.
Listen, those other boats aren't that small.
Yeah, compared to a cruise ship, they are. Cruise ships are huge.
Still, big boat, small boat. I don't care what kind of boat.
The,
There's not enough money in the world that could probably get me on a ship.
the soft, subtle rocking from one to side. You know,
I'd like to fish on the ocean, but at the same time, I'd refuse. I wholeheartedly refuse because, like I said, I don't know what's in there.
You
I
don't
know
want-
it's bigger than me.
You don't want to try to catch a marlin or something?
Who? Nah, I would love to do that. I'd love to go fishing, but I got to be able to see the bottom.
You're not gonna hit an iceberg, Christian. Come on, it's the Pacific. There's no icebergs.
Listen, I don't even care about the iceberg. It's the Kraken or the giant megalodon or whatever else is in there.
Some form of kelp,
Yes,
a invasive shrimp species,
those things are terrifying.
plastic.
Alaskan crabs,
Well, that,
delicious.
First of all, the only thing about an Alaskan cruise is the all-you-can-eat Alaskan crab buffet.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
I might go.
Yeah. See.
You get me in there for food, I
First
guess.
of all, that's the definition of farm to fork, right there.
I don't know if that's farm to fork, but sure.
Pod to plate. Is that what that would be called?
We catch them in little pods, yeah. They're kind of like people talk horrible and smack about catfish because they're bottom dwellers and eat stuff off the bottom of the floor. But like, you gotta admit, crab is just as bad. They eat all kinds of decaying stuff, just garbage itself.
So, they're also bottom feeders, is what you're saying?
Correct. And people
Crab.
love the way crab tastes.
Does crab taste better than lobster?
I was talking about catfish.
Catfish is disgusting.
I love
Unless
catfish.
properly prepared
Exactly.
and fresh.
Listen, you gotta know how to prepare it.
Yeah,
Fair.
you have to know how to cook catfish for sure. Like LaRon can make a mean catfish.
I gotta go.
We had some good catfish when we were at his house.
What do you say about a helicopter?
He flew on a helicopter to see a glacier.
Oh, nice. Did you get glacier water?
Glaciers totally different than icebergs. Just saying. They are. They're different.
No, I was watching Lane struggle with this headphone cable that's resting on the knob of that drawer.
Is that what it is?
No,
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
If you pick up your, grab your cable. Yep, there you go. You figured it out.
I was like, what the hell's happening over there?
But yeah, I just
What are you guys even talking about?
ocean.
The ocean. The big
What's wrong with the ocean
the
again?
big blue wet
Oh, you
thing?
were bitching about crab and lobster not being any good.
No, I'm saying it's good. People love it, but they still hate catfish, even though it's a bottom feeder. They're all bottom feeders.
Well, who hates catfish?
If not well prepared, Casey.
Yeah, it has to be well prepared. Because I've had some chewy catfish.
I've never had chewy catfish.
Yeah, I've had chewy.
I've always had flaky catfish.
No, I wouldn't mind flaky. Flaky's good. But if you've had chewy catfish, it just ruins catfish.
Yeah, I've never had chewy catfish, nor do I ever want chewy catfish.
Yeah, those photos were cool, Christian. Those were, I mean, it's Alaska, right? It's amazing.
Why is he in Alaska?
Probably just hanging out.
Bored.
Alaska. He lives in Texas. I don't know. I'm bored. I'm going to Alaska. I didn't know that casually just comes up.
He wanted to see mountains instead.
There are 5 or 6 mountain towns on the way that I could think to stop in that wouldn't be Alaska.
Well, he flew. He didn't drive. It'd be a fun drive, though. It'd be a long drive.
From here to Alaska?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a bit. Isn't it like 3,000 miles?
something like that.
Right?
Originally, we were talking about cruises.
I don't feel like it's that far.
I don't know.
From Texas, maybe.
Would you take that cruise, the Alaskan cruise?
I'm not really a cruise guy.
Too much open water.
No,
Just-
it's like being stuck in a water hotel.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
who wants to go to a hotel you can't leave?
I mean, you could leave. It's not advised.
Not my thing.
I mean, I get the Caribbean ones where you get to go island hopping. That seems cool.
They were at a wedding.
Oh. Fuck that.
What is that, Anchorage?
There's only one town.
I didn't know.
False.
There's only one town.
You got the bush people out there.
The rest of them are settlements, not towns. Or small villages. I've seen Northern Exposure. I know what's up there.
You are a jaded human being.
How so? I don't know what you're talking about.
7 hours from DFW to Anchorage. That's what he
Yeah,
said.
so it's wow. It's 5 hours from here to Ohio. That's like 2,600 miles.
Okay.
Okay, that's not too bad.
So that's from Texas is probably about 3,000 miles.
Oh,
Oh, and he had direct from. That's not bad. Direct.
There you go.
I mean, the only layover I see is getting into a smaller plane, if needed.
No, because Anchorage has a big airport.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's if you watch the Alaskan PD TV show, they talk about it being the only airport in between busting meth heads and parties.
How do you like that heart release with a cigar?
Huh?
Your whiskey.
He hasn't tried it yet.
It holds up.
Does it?
Surprisingly, it holds up well.
This didn't open up quite as. It still needs some time, probably. It's only been open for a couple hours. Didn't open up quite as much as I was hoping it would.
Oh.
It's not as good as a Fortuna. It's still very good. They're probably. I say that because they're probably the same source. They're probably both MGP.
All right, for what they're talking about, Casey has the Maker's Mark. Lane has the barrel. What was this? The 2023
Batch 35.
batch 35.
Batch 35.
And I am drinking the Green River.
So I pulled out the barrel because I was wandering around today, little whiskey hunt. And I saw the batch 36, and I went, wait, I think I have a batch 35 that I've never opened. Sure enough, there it is. Yeah.
Did you pick up the batch 36?
Yeah.
No, I wanted to try the 35 first. There's a bunch of the 36 in the market.
Okay.
It's easy to find.
Fair enough.
I almost bought one of last year's, the Prideful Goat 8-year rye. I saw that today.
There's a whiskey called Prideful Goat.
There is a whiskey called Prideful Goat. It's supposed to be pretty good.
Nobody's
It's
told
all
me.
sourced.
He's so excited about this.
I kind of am.
Oh,
It's the Prideful Goat, you know? My goat's on the table. He's here today for you guys. So
yeah.
happy.
So I saw that today. Almost got it. Passed. Saw some more of that Heart release, but I hadn't tried it yet. Not really.
Okay, so you wanted to check it out first.
Yeah. There's nothing else in the market. There's some Buffalo Trace floating around. I saw some H. Taylor and some Eagle Rare.
What's your thought on the Minutemen? It was a whiskey that Kevin had me try.
Don't think I've ever had it. Don't think I've
Yeah.
ever seen it.
I've
What's-
seen it once or twice.
Hold on, more important question. You're the one that tried it. What's your thought on the Minutemen?
It's not a bad whiskey. I wouldn't put it in the classification where what we've been drinking is higher end. I put it at mid for sure.
Okay.
All right.
Is it better or worse than that Green River you're drinking? Worse?
Yeah, it's a little worse than that.
Dude, that Green River is like a $52 bottle.
I mean, it's a good bottle. I saw Rayleigh's has one, but I'm unsure if they did a barrel pick or if it's the same thing.
So there's both floating around in the Rayleigh system. I've seen barrel picks and I've seen single barrels. And their labels are very similar.
Yeah, because when I saw it, I thought this was the Rayleigh's one.
Yeah, I've seen the like Green River. This is our single barrel profile release, like they just rip like Bland's.
Yeah.
And I've also seen picks. I haven't tried either. Probably should at some point.
I'll see if Rayleigh still has it and pick a bottle up.
This barrel's pretty good. It's a little overpriced. It's like $80 for the batch series.
Okay.
$82. I don't know. I don't want to be fair to it. It needs to be open longer. I opened it today.
Oh yeah.
But right now I'd take that Fortuna barrel proof for an extra $10 over this
You really like the Fortuna
all day long.
though.
That's really good.
Fortuna is really good.
That's probably the closest thing to Stag I've had.
That Fortuna, yeah.
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 That's why you had me pick up the other bottle.
Yes.
You needed to open a new one, so you needed that extra one.
Need more stag.
Yeah, it's time to I'm losing a reserve bottle, so I need to replace the reserve bottle. That's how that works. There's only a couple whiskeys I do that with. Stag, Larceny Barrel Proof. That Fortuna I don't see often enough, but if I see the Fortuna, I'll buy it again. But that was all from the same place. I just got lucky, and then he was out, and then he randomly got another bottle, and then he was out, and then he randomly got another bottle. And these are like months apart.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Christian said he saw the review for the Karevi.
here, I'll take care of these. Oh, ask him what he thought about the Kurivari. The Karevi. How was that again?
Karevi.
Kurivari.
Kurivari. He said he was surprised. It was only $9.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah, Christian, that one's fantastic. We're gonna try to get some of those because those are really good.
No, you guys are fine. I'm on camera. Well, everybody's staring at me going like this. There was something that I saw. I kind of want to hold off for Lane to see it, but there's this new thing that they're talking about, the future of prisons. And it's going with putting in a device in prisoners' heads and having their prison sentence shortened to like minutes instead of years. And it's supposed to have them go through like their crime, their victim side of it, the family side of it, and it's supposed to just all go into the mind and create permanent memories.
Yeah, they did that already.
Did they?
Yeah, it's an episode of Deep Space Nine.
Well, yeah. Of course they have an episode about it.
It's-
That's where they got the idea.
Yeah, clearly it's stolen from Deep Space Nine. I will show you the episode. It's fantastic.
You know what? I'll probably need to see the episode, but I thought about it. Do I like the idea of it? No, not really, because I feel like they should be made to go through those years. But like if you used it in a military standpoint and did it as training, where people could get training in minutes instead of months and like years.
No, that you're costing. You're costing. He is going in some weird
What are you
place.
talking? First of all,
What?
Deep Space Nine definitely stole that.
Yeah. No. Deep Space. They stole it from Deep Space Nine.
Who did?
Whatever he's talking
A
about.
bunch of scientists want to put in a chip and make prisoners go through their sentence in minutes instead of years.
Yeah.
I
That's,
feel like both of those are stolen from Demolition Man.
They both are.
well, I don't know because I think Deep Space Nine came out before Demolition Man. I'd have to
I don't
check.
think so.
I'd have to check. But Demolition Man's different. Okay.
See, and I was talking about doing in the military standpoint where you can get a bunch of training done in a shorter time.
No.
No, why not?
That's cost too much money.
I don't know. Training for months on end can get instead of minutes, you can get soldiers through even quicker.
Yeah, because then we'd have a bunch of soldiers standing around doing nothing.
We already have that.
Yeah,
It's
but-
called hurry up and wait.
At least they're training.
Yeah, hurry up and wait.
And then train some more.
Yeah, you could train more after you do all that initial stuff.
No.
Well, other than it does get the body ready and all that.
From Demolition Man. This guy over here.
Who's looking that up?
How dare you deface the name of Deep Space Nine? When did Demolition Man come out? See, I feel like Deep Space Nine's right there.
I feel like it could pose other issues, though. The fact that they can put new memories in your mind and all that.
First of all, how's it work?
Well, essentially, they're gonna put a chip in your head, kind of
Okay.
like the whole chip in your arm to scan and all
right.
that.
And this
then
is-
they do like a VR headset to give the imagery, and that chip's supposed to transmit feelings and thoughts of their victims, and also cause you to maintain or make that memory permanent of your crime and how they felt.
Okay, we are way too advanced.
I'm just saying.
I see problems. You know why they want to do this for prisoners?
Why?
Because the failure rate on mental chips is probably going to be through the roof. It's probably cheaper than buying those damn drugs they're using for fucking.
Well, the other thing is it could be seen as cruel and unusual punishment at this point.
It's legitimately biotesting on prisoners. That's what they're doing.
Well,
Nah, don't gray area. Well, that's fucking. You know damn well that's exactly what they're doing. They're going. We need to test these chips on people. Who do we pick? Well, we could find the homeless. Nah, too much work. We got rooms full of guys just standing around who need to be tested. All right, perfect, genius. What corporate prison decided to sign off on that? That's what I want to know.
I mean,
Where's
nobody's
this money
signed
coming
off on it yet. It's the thought of the future for the new prison system. I mean,
Yeah, I see. Well, that wouldn't
The
be,
idea-
it wouldn't be prison though. It'd be reformation.
well, yeah, you're going through the whole process in minutes instead of years, which is one of the things that I have an issue with. You should be able to go through the whole process in years. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense because the prisons are already full and our justice system is extremely bogged down.
So this would speed the process up.
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would change the justice system.
Probably
You'd still
not.
have to go through the courts. You'd still have to go through sentencing, and now we're talking about like a whole medical field of people and professionals. We would need to initiate this. Like,
But-
there's bigger problems at stake there.
The best part is they were gonna put a AI in charge of generating the images on
God,
what they did and making them worse.
that's a scary thought.
I mean, AI
That's
in
a
general is.
scary thought right there.
But I saw it. It interested me because I thought about the good things.
I mean, if it's the problem is that like that chip that one guy put in his head
Mm-hmm.
that he did for Musk, right?
yeah.
They have that. He's paraplegic now, and they wired him up so he can use the computer and stuff.
Wasn't there a movie about that?
I don't know, probably.
It took over his brain.
Yeah, well, this one it doesn't seat right in the dude's brain. Like some of the diodes fell out. I mean, this is a really complex surgery you're trying to perform on someone.
They tested on monkeys first.
Yeah, but they should still be in the test phase.
It's fair.
That's a bit much.
You got to take some chances.
I'm all for chances. I just don't think that's the answer.
Well,
Like, that's
Fair enough.
crazy.
But I mean, we figured out the diodes to get people moving again, right?
Well, he's not moving. He's still paralyzed, but he can use his brain to control the screen monitor. And apparently now he's learned how to play chess. He's learned how to move a mouse over and click certain elements. There's a bit of a lag, but he's on that level. And I think now they're trying to do. He's trying to learn a language to see if it can help him learn language.
Huh.
So that's where they're on with that one. But that one is, I mean, it was a big surgery he had to do. It took like 12 hours to put the thing in the dude's brain.
Oh wow. Because they had to match each diode to the certain.
Yeah, wire it to certain places so it can track certain synapses firing. I mean, it's basically these little tiny needles in certain synapses regions, and then his brain sort of fills in the gaps from the electrical current running through his brain.
Why didn't they use IR sensors in there instead?
Wire.
Inside his brain instead of stabbing small needles into it?
Well, I mean, they're not like, because you have to have direct connection to the synapses. So that's the only problem that they're talking about is this kind of tech is, supposed to be like that. But I mean, even then, it's falling out, and it's
Yeah.
not seated 100% the way it should seat. So they're kind of hoping. I think if they get to do another one, that they'll learn from this one. But it's working. I mean, he can play computer games and it's learning. So that I can see that working. I don't know how you're gonna make someone have memories. Like that's some serious work.
And yeah, thinking about it, like doing it that way, you can put other kinds of memories in people at some point. At this point, oh, he did this. Let's make him think he did it.
Yeah. See, that's crazy. That's weird.
I don't know. The cons do outweigh the pros, which I haven't found any pros in here. But like I said, the military standpoint, I mean, if you go through if you go through basic, I think it probably should happen after that. But like
for
specialty,
like for A school, basically.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, because there's multiple schools out there. You have Ranger, you have Airborne, you have the School for Green Berets, Navy SEALs, all that.
Christian says that's too close to playing God.
We are at that point already. We've been doing it for a while now.
Christian, you got a point there. That might be crossing the line. Like, look, for educational purposes, maybe. Like, maybe.
What do you say?
Okay, so he says erasing memories that cause PTSD is probably a more acceptable application for it.
Okay.
I'm with that.
I was thinking Matrix style.
But
Download Kung Fu. I know Kung Fu.
That I mean, if you could impart knowledge, but how's it supposed to?
Well, that's what I was thinking. It's supposed to impart memories and thoughts and feelings. Can it impart the knowledge as well?
I mean, it would just be the knowledge without practicality.
What do you mean?
Well, in the Matrix, when he's like, "I know Kung Fu,"
Yeah.
right, realistically, they just downloaded all of the moves, so he knew them, but didn't have an understanding of like doing Kung Fu. It was more of a knowledge of Kung Fu.
So he loaded it
Yeah.
more into the brain. So,
Yeah.
but he was still able to perform,
Well, yeah, because then you just kind of, I mean, you still have to figure it out, but
of course.
then it kind of works that way. Like Trinity, she
It does-
downloads how to fly a helicopter. So you know how to fly, like the practicality of flying a helicopter.
You got the idea.
You have the idea, but you've never actually done it.
Listen,
So,
I watched YouTube. I think I can do it too.
I mean, flying a helicopter is kind of not hard. If we're being
It's
honest,
still not something I want to do though.
it would be fun.
I guess if I had to, maybe.
Yeah, it would be fun. I'd be down to fly a helicopter.
I mean, you like space and you're okay with heights
Yeah, so flying a helicopter would be fun.
for you at least.
You don't
Maybe
think,
Lane.
You don't think flying a helicopter would be fun?
No, I didn't like rappelling out of them. What makes you think I want to fly them?
That's different.
Were,
Repelling.
were you rappelling or fast roping?
Fast roping.
See, there you go.
Yes, that's different.
Different.
That's scary.
Ah,
Flying is fine.
I can't read it from here.
Casey, get on the comments.
Yeah.
What are you guys even talking about? I've been, doing stuff.
That chip in the brain that they're
Oh,
talking
you're
about
still
for
on
prison.
that?
Yeah, we just started bouncing around it and then got to the Matrix
see-
and downloading.
See, here's
Christian's on some weird shit.
Oh
now.
yeah.
what's he say?
What'd he say? You gotta read it again.
Here's my problem. So like, not that I don't have a problem with the idea generally, but it would become such a disaster. Like, what's the appropriate amount of time to translate? Like, there'd be these ridiculous calculations in Congress about the emotional suffering that they were receiving from this and how long they had to suffer it and how that equated to a number of years. Like, it'd be a mess.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of cruel and unusual punishment. We've already somewhat established that.
I don't know that it is.
Well, you're making them go. So they committed the crime, then you're gonna make them commit the crime again, plus also feel it from
No,
the
no, they're not
victim's
going to. They're not going to
standpoint.
commit the crime. They're going to be a victim of the crime. There's
Yeah.
a difference.
Okay, so they're going to be the ones having the crime committed on them.
Yeah.
And then they have to go through the thoughts and feelings of the family as well. It's like a multitude of things in matter of minutes.
Yeah, again, see, no problem with the idea, but you're going to get like these idiot bureaucrats are going to be like, well, you know, we could give him all of this suffering in 10 minutes, but that's not enough, and we're giving him time back on his life. So, you know, we think the appropriate amount of punishment is, say, him suffering this for 6 months or whatever. They're like, but he can't have the other 29 years and 6 months that he would normally be in prison for on this sentence. So he's still going to have to serve, say, 10 years of his sentence, right? There's just going to be these ridiculous calculations. It's be a mess.
And then make them go through the whole thing every day.
You know what we could do? We could just reform criminal justice.
Ooh. Easy now. Easy. You're gonna hurt a lot of corporate.
I'm just saying.
Gonna hurt a lot of corporate prisons now. Okay.
Yeah, those private prisons are in trouble.
You are hurting someone's
The
bloodline.
Bush family's going to be hurting.
What do you think you're doing here?
They're not really going to be hurting. But I believe they are right now the largest owner of private prisons in the country.
The Bushes?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, how many private prisons are there?
More than you think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I think there's like 10.
No. God, no.
Really?
There's dozens.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because the government can't do all those by themselves and run it, and so they have other people outside contracts do it, and then they just pay them.
Yeah, but then on those contracts, it's like they get paid by number of cells, and then the private prisons start doing some super shady shit to keep people in prison,
Yeah.
so they can always guarantee. And then they do things like
Yeah, because you have to keep
transport them for a day to another prison, so they're basically occupying 2 cells in the same day. Like they're super shady
Yeah,
about it.
aren't they? Don't they have the same problems as hotels do? It's all about occupancy.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's see,
except they have a pre-built population. They just move them around.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like they would just put inmates on like the one in San Diego, they would just put inmates on a bus and drive them like 7 hours up the road, check them in, turn around and drive them back.
Christian, I don't think we're gonna say that one.
Can I upload a memory of Pappy 27 years?
But we could probably do that one. I don't know about the one above it.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're gonna let that one go.
Like I said, Christian's on some weird shit right now.
I didn't
right.
realize that was it.
So I had to listen. I didn't have to. I'm always searching for podcasts to listen to because I'm bored on my drive. So I found one on. There's one on tipping, and it was like just people bitching about having to tip everywhere, right? Which I am sympathetic to.
Okay.
I don't think everywhere should have a tip line on their checkout. Like I even, like in here sometimes, I'm like, I don't know why we have that.
Yeah,
Right?
you just
Yeah.
So I understand that. But then the people in these podcasts are just like, well, I just can't say no. And I just, I feel so accosted that people are asking me for tips. And the other part of me, like I was a bartender for better than a decade. Like, I don't care if you don't want to tip, don't tip. But you're like, we need something to limit, like, so people can't tip at all in these situations. Knowing what the people that are working those situations make, like if someone wants to tip them, let them get tipped. Like just have the backbone to be like, I'm not going to tip you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't think I'm simple. Like on one side, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. On the other side, it's like fucking Nancy Reagan. Just say no.
Even then, most of the tips on most of the things you're gonna do is under $10 usually, unless you're putting it out there yourself. I always tip 10 at the bar, 5 per drink if it's multiple drinks,
Yeah.
and I do that.
Yeah, I
mean-
mean, like bartenders and waitresses, I sure they deserve to.
Well, this is the other thing too, right? We're talking about the like don't tax tips things, which I think is a terrible idea. Because everyone, when they think of tips, like the people in Washington has got to be. When they think of tips, they're thinking like the waitress at Denny's in the Midwest, Oklahoma, you know, the Dakotas, Iowa, and I get that. You know, they're making 45 grand a year.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize how much some people make in tips. My servers make $600 to $700 a night, every night,
Yes.
and that's nothing.
No.
I made $1,000 to $1,500 a night in a nightclub. I saw bottle service girls that were making 30 grand on single tables.
Jesus. That's ridiculous.
Kevin's mind is blown right now.
They're spending what, like 700 up on a table?
No, dude, the table the waitress made 30 grand on, that was a $80,000 table.
Yeah. And that wasn't even in Vegas.
That was here.
Yeah, think about Vegas. Especially now that the Raiders are there. Dude, there's a
Oh, yeah.
$250,000 table every weekend.
For sure.
Maybe not every weekend, but a couple times a year.
Yeah, like easy. Like that waitress is walking out of there with 50 grand plus.
Yeah, she's getting, it's 32%, 10% goes to the door, so it's down to 22, 2% probably, because it's service charge, so 2% probably goes to the building, 20%, she's got a tip out on top of that, so she's making, 16.5%-ish.
Whoa, it's still a lot.
Yeah, it's still 16.5% of, 5 or 6 figures.
That's
And even then, like when you were there, they weren't even tipping out the bartenders anymore for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, no, my tips, that's just what we made on the bar.
Yeah.
But I mean, the amount of money that some of these people make is ridiculous. They're like, we don't need to tax tips. I'm like, maybe we don't need to tax tips below a certain annual income. But if you've got a girl that's making $500,000 a year, I think we can comfortably tax those tips,
Yes.
just for whatever it's worth.
But how would you figure that out?
Well, you have to report your income.
So
I don't
if
think they
you-
report
if
their
you-
tips all that
Well,
often.
wait, but so,
Service charges, they don't have a choice. So service charges aren't, well, and I don't know how that would work out. Service charges aren't technically tips. They're wages.
Jesus. That's a huge number.
That is.
Yeah.
I believe that. But you're saying like scale it.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't they just not report to a certain amount and then if they can?
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so no one's bringing in, like what Christian said, no one's bringing in a briefcase of $120K. That's a credit card tip.
Oh, so that
Part
was,
of that service charge is going to be wages. Part of that's probably tip, but it's still on a credit card.
right.
That is inevitably auditable.
So that's kind of
It
I
might
mean,
even be reported by the casino automatically.
Yeah, I was about to say that's kind of how the system works now, right? That's why if you do a digital tip, right, it's taxed already.
Not necessarily.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, it depends on where you're at.
Okay.
If it's a service charge, it's taxed immediately.
If it's just a tip on a
Because service charges aren't wages as far as the IRS is concerned, or are wages. They're not tips. So because it's a contractual arrangement between the business and the customer and not a gratuity given to the server or the bartender, it goes through exactly this. So when the casino pays it out on their check, it goes through exactly the same withholdings that regular wages do.
Okay. So there is kind of a system already in place for that.
For service charges, there is. But the other part of this still is like, if you don't want to tip, don't tip, but don't bitch about it.
Well,
Like, let it go.
I know in other countries like Europe and all that, the tip is calculated into the actual payment on the food.
Sort of.
Kind of, yeah.
It's the prices are elevated so that they can pay their servers more. In theory.
So they don't have to be tipped. And they're working on their wage instead of trying to get tips.
There are some restaurants that get away with that here. Some restaurants that have tried it and failed. The French Laundry includes a gratuity.
And they ask you not to tip, right?
they don't ask you not to tip, but they clearly tell you that there will be a service charge paid to the employee based on the cost of the table.
Okay.
And they make, and I believe the French Laundry also pays commissions on wine bottle sales,
Oh, there you go.
which if you're doing a $300 a person course dinner with wine pairings and you're selling, you know, $10,000 and $15,000 bottles, paying commissions on wine bottles is the way to go.
Yeah.
Because they're not, what you have to understand about a place like the French Laundry is that they didn't buy that wine at that cost. They bought that wine the year that it was released at their wholesale price and then held on to it until the auction price was such that they can demand 15 or 20K for the bottle.
So that doesn't get better with time, kind of like whiskey when it's out of the barrel.
Wine gets better with time to a point. Not all wine. But the most common food wines get better with, so most reds, any red that saw barrel time, so like Pinots, Cabs, Merlots, all the Bordeaux stuff, Barolo, Barbaresco, most of the European red varietals will get better with age, depending on the varietal to anywhere from 7 is probably like there's some varietals that'll start to age out at 7 years. There's some varietals that won't start to age out until 20 or 25 years.
Okay.
There's one I forget what it's called. It's from an island. I forget what it is, but it'll age for 40 or 50 years.
Really? Mm-hmm. And doesn't turn into vinegar.
No. In fact, none of it turns into vinegar. It gets acidic, but it's not becoming vinegar. It turns out making vinegar is really hard.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Christian says that Pappy's dinner I went to here in Dallas added a mandatory 22% gratuity, no option.
Yeah. So it's funny because they call that a gratuity, but it's not a gratuity. It's a service charge. Now they in saying it's a gratuity, they're going to give it all to the employee. Mm-hmm. They're also going to report it immediately to their IRS upon payout. So it's going to be calculated as wages for tax purposes.
All right. So that because they automatically do that, it's got it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if, listen, random restaurant in Dallas, I don't know if they're doing it. The casinos play by the rules because they have to, because they're possibly the most audited businesses in the country.
Yeah, they're a little more strict on certain things they have to be strict on.
Yeah, I mean, I've never worked anywhere else that was tip allotted the way the casinos are.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, the tip allocation is really crazy in casinos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because they track all the positions.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, like, to bring it all the way back, if you don't want to tip, don't tip.
Yeah.
But don't bitch about someone getting the opportunity to make tips either. You know what I mean?
I'm all for tipping somebody. The point where I get an issue is usually like when it's something like I've seen it at gas stations where there's a tip thing that pops up and I don't understand why there's a tip thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I get that.
And
But I hear people bitching about coffee shops.
or fast when you're going through the drive-through.
Yeah, or like McDonald's generally.
Yeah.
I mean, I tip 20%, 25% at my coffee shop.
Yeah.
Partially it's because I lived on tips for so long. And partially it's because being a barista is a lot like being a bartender. Like they're working relatively hard to make those drinks.
Yeah, I mean, you have.
It's not like pouring a soda.
if there's a
Yeah.
service,
Yeah.
right? Then I think it warrants some form of tip, but also, don't make it so that tips make up the wage, right? If you pay a fair wage, then this isn't a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that. I mean, there are some states where restaurant employees can be paid as little as like $2.67 an hour.
Yeah, like because they're gonna make up tips. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, I do it. Listen, where I work, it's the minimum for the corporation is 20.
Okay.
My servers make 16 so long as they make up the other 4 in tips.
Okay.
But that seems pretty reasonable. They're still making 16 an hour.
Yeah.
And they're making
Tips.
very solid tips.
See that I'm okay with, but yeah, like if you're making the federal number, which I think is like $2 or $3 in certain
No.
states.
Well, that's yes.
Right.
It's a deduction off of federal minimum wage so long as they make it up.
Yeah, that's
I
ridiculous.
think it's 267.
Fuck that. That's where it gets.
That's brutal.
yeah. That like
Because if you don't get any tips, really, that
because that's the thing, right? Tips are based on people. There are some days where you're not going to see many people, and then you're going to get like $5-6 on your tips. You were paying to work, not getting paid to work. That's where it's rough. Like those you can't bitch there.
And they don't adjust.
No, they don't. That's why I did like the Nevada thing where they cut off that one where tipped employees get the state minimum wage. They just passed that one.
Yeah.
So now all the waitresses get state minimum wage no matter what they're making.
You always did in Nevada.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, they passed the law for it for some reason.
I thought Mo was making less than that.
Yeah, they were. They were in the casinos. They were at least.
Yeah, because she was making 8 something.
It was like 11 something. They all just got bumped up to 12 because the minimum wage was 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's never been a law in Nevada where you could make less than minimum wage. Certain positions, like dancers, those kind of dancers, they actually have to rent stage time.
Okay, makes sense because they are making a ton in tips usually.
Yeah. So they're not getting paid. They're basically four-walling the stage for 15 minutes at a time, 6 times a night or whatever.
Got
Oh,
it.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Really?
Which has come up a couple times in lawsuits, but I think it's always withstood scrutiny, I believe.
Because it was in the contract, probably, so it was like contractually obliged.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting, though. I don't think there's any other profession that's like that. Right?
No, not unless you're a full-on promoter.
Yeah.
Like you four-wall a venue for a band that you paid for.
Right. Because then you're floating until you get paid back for it.
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
mean,
like
if they
a-
really wanted to get around it, they could force the dancers to form their own LLCs and do business with the LLC because
Like-
then it's business to business.
like 1099.
Yeah. No, not even 1099. I mean, you would 1099 the LLC, but you wouldn't 1099 the person. You would 1099 their business entity.
Wow.
I think that's a lot of work for them. I don't think they do that.
That
Oh, for the kind of money they make, I bet they would.
I guarantee you there'd be a slew of Champagne Incorporateds.
In fact, if the dancers were smart, they would do that anyway and force the place to 1099 their LLC.
Oh, wow. You heard it here first. If you're a dancer in the tri-state area. Perhaps an LLC is your
It's a
calling.
route.
You think
Dude, it'd be a good way to go.
can you legal zoom that? Just have them file the LLC for you?
I mean, dude, LLCs are so easy to form, especially in Nevada.
I think they're extremely easy in Nevada
It
from what
takes
I was
like
looking
it
at.
takes like 35 minutes.
Man, then you could franchise the whole thing. It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Casey needs to do some marketing research for dancing tips.
I'm for this. This might need to be researched.
Dude, you could almost create a de facto union for dancers.
See, I was about to say, are we gonna have them
Unionize them.
No, but if you form an LLC and they all work for you and your LLC rents the stage time,
Then
you
would-
could first of all, you could make their time slots far more efficient. And you could guarantee certain conditions because no one would go and work at these places unless because they're all working for the same company.
the pole dancing Teamsters. Is that
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Oh yeah, no, you could definitely create a de facto union. Given the way that they do business, you 100% could.
Yeah, this is a union bar. We only do union girls here.
Casey, I think you're gonna work on your next business endeavor.
Bro, that might be have to have. I'd even call it the union. That's
Right?
That'd be the name of the club.
Uh,
The
What else?
Spearmint Union.
What else? Knock it off.
there was
Over the line, Casey.
Peppermint Dock Workers.
You'd have to put that one next to the pepper mill
Yeah. Oh, hands down, it'd be right there.
or inside.
There's some places that's gonna pop up now. The franchise rights alone.
Where are the boys tonight? We got Christian. Cameron still hasn't come back in. Punk.
Well, he's
You should have known that.
third world internet.
It's choppy.
They
Yeah.
only
Dude,
get
he
it-
would tell you their internet's better than ours,
They only get it like once a month.
which I think is only true in Korea.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And
Maybe
France.
maybe Bangkok. And
I'd say
Thailand.
Japan too.
Japan probably, France definitely, Korea for sure.
But I mean, he's in Cambodia somewhere.
Yeah, no.
And knowing Cameron, it's the middle of nowhere, Cambodia.
Yeah, I guarantee that's choppy.
Actually, that's not true. I think he's in Siem Reap. So that's Cambodia, right?
I have no idea.
Sure,
We'll go with that.
maybe.
I think it's one of their bigger cities
I don't know. I don't know why he's in Cambodia.
because he can't get into Thailand anymore.
Oh yeah.
They've revoked him. He can't come back.
I will say, listening to him badmouth Thailand at this point is kind of funny because he spent better than a decade talking up Thailand like it was the greatest place on earth.
And now it's all about Cambodia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until they kick him out. And then
Now, in
when-
his defense, when he was here, he did date a Cambodian.
Oh, okay. And then what? Is he going to go to Myanmar after that?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, it's Bowman. He's going to piss off the country at some point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when's he getting kicked out?
Probably about the same amount of time.
Dude, this barrel's opening up really well. Now that it's got a little more time.
There'll be no VIP room if they unionized.
Why not?
Hey, as long as you're a union worker, we got union VIP rooms. It's fine. Don't even worry about that. You might have to have a union rep with you. That's just.
My rep's a female. I don't think that'd work out.
I don't see why not. You could totally do it.
Probably.
As long as the VIP services are in their VIP union contract.
Because it's not a real union. It's just forcing the venues to do certain things to get workers.
So it's a faux-
if all the workers work for the same company.
It's a faux union.
Yeah, no, that's what I
Union
said. It's
union benefits without the actual union.
it's a
problems.
union structure without actually having a union.
Oh man.
You just make them all part owners of the company.
Oh, you're causing union civil war now. The real union world is gonna come after you. Fucking dock workers, the carpenters, the fucking electricians. They're gonna have your head on a pike.
Listen, real unions could do it too. You could make all employees, like everyone in a local, could be an employee of that union, and then they're contracted out to the different places that need employees.
As long as you meet their union requirements.
Yeah.
Wow. You've just unionized private dancing. How does that feel?
What's up, Bobby?
Oh shit! How's your brother doing?
He's alive apparently.
Did you not know this until just
Is
now?
that a surprise to you?
Does it look like I talk to any of my family? I forget to talk to my mother, and she's a mile down the road.
I never forgot to talk to my mom. I don't forget to talk to my dad.
If it's out of sight, it's out of mind for me.
Okay.
That's why you guys
Kevin.
usually text me first before I even text you guys usually.
I don't even get a response all the time, even when I'm offering booze.
I was asleep. My work schedule says that I need to sleep at a certain time.
I
so that's
feel
what
like
I do.
knowing you would have a sensor for those things. Like, oh, my phone just went off about alcohol. I should respond.
My booze is pretty full. I got that one bottle for you. Hey. it's
I
not
did.
that
I
bad.
appreciate that. Dude, you can never have enough stag.
He's currently on vacation. That's because of your ADHD. Yes. Out of sight, out of mind is part of my ADHD. And it's nice.
Dude, I had a girl ask me if I was on the spectrum at work.
I remember this.
Well, you should have been like, well, yeah, that's because Spectrum is the only service we get in town. Otherwise, I would have had someone else.
I don't think it's spectrum up there.
Oh no.
No,
Oh,
I don't think they would have gotten the joke.
no, that's fair.
Yeah, she looked at me flat out. She's like, "You on the spectrum?" I was like, not that I know of." Uh-oh. Back to the comments.
It said the spectrum of the scope of the work would not allow to include something illegal.
Why not?
What union workers do illegal?
They
shit
can't
all
do
the
it
time.
now, but they do it.
No,
That is true.
It
We just
still
wouldn't put
happens.
we just wouldn't make it.
You're not going to advertise it. You know?
It'd be the same. It'd be the same disclaimer that they put on like interviews when someone from a news channel is doing their own thing. The views expressed in this podcast do not represent the views of the station. Whatever, yada yada yada.
Yeah, hey, it's a union work. There's no sex in the champagne room.
But again, they're not union. It's not a real union. It's just that you're withholding labor because they're employees of your company and you're contracting them out.
I don't know. Me and Christian,
What-
we're going to have to talk about this.
Whatever they do in the place is their thing.
That is true. You're just renting the space out to them.
Yeah, the local.
I'm just contracting the space and giving a time slot.
local entertainment workers 775 represent. Me and Christian are gonna start some unions here in a minute.
But it's most viable because they're contracting the space. They're not employees. They're actually paying to be there. So if someone else buys the time and just sends the girls in,
So would
There's
you,
no problems.
So you'd have to pay for it though.
yeah, you'd have to find some way to balance that out. But I mean, what they're paying is pretty minimal.
And then they could pay you in their union dues.
I mean, they're paying like 50 or $100 a night or something.
yeah. See, then they're paying dues
That's not
to
bad.
you as the union. This is genius. This might be the best idea we've ever come up with.
No, see, because I'm contracting the space. I would just take some of what happens in there.
Oh, okay.
It'd have to be a fair number.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, even though nothing's happening in the back.
Listen, what happens in the back stays in the back.
allegedly.
Going back
Should
to
have seen that
Vegas
one
rules.
coming.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I did see some. Well, I heard something because every once in a while I listen to 99.1,
Okay.
and I heard something and I looked into it. 239 million was accidentally given to the Taliban,
Yeah.
which threw me off. And I'm like, how do you accidentally pay out 239 million?
That's like saying
To the Taliban.
the CIA accidentally stumbled upon 20 pounds of cocaine.
Well, looking at it, what it was they made a bunch of little shell.
Well, hold on. What was the number? I got one better than that.
Oh,
I think it was 50 billion. Insurance companies billed Medicare for 50 billion in untreated medical conditions.
wow.
How's that
And
work?
Medicare just paid it out
Because they're just used to writing checks. They're like, yeah, sure.
because insurance companies are fraudsters.
His number trumps yours by a lot.
That is a lot. But you'd think we'd vet all these guys as the country.
Whoa, vetting.
Hey.
Whoa, we don't do
That takes
that.
time.
It does
Yeah.
take time.
What does vet mean?
Apparently, they say it's not true though. All the small news networks that were out there, none of the big ones said anything other than that 99.1 that I heard come from it.
I mean, they could be true, but you also got to remember, like the large news networks walk a line, right? Like they need access to do their job, and if they piss off the wrong people, that access goes away.
That is true. So how factual this is, I don't know. Just from all the little things that I read, it says that it's not true. But if they did do it, it was because they created little businesses for helping, like, give out food and all that.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was weird how
So it was just
accidentally.
It was just aid.
Yeah.
Wasn't accidental.
Foreign aid, and it's the funny part is it just says accidental.
Dude, that you hear about the Australian guy who they busted for unemployment.
No.
So he was on unemployment since 2019. The only reason they busted him is because they had to repossess his Lamborghini. Apparently, in Australian dollars, he had something like $900,000 that he had accumulated from unemployment, and they were repossessing his Lamborghini because he was a little too flashy. They're like, I don't think a guy on unemployment should be able to afford a Lamborghini. What's going on here?
I have serious questions.
Turns out for 5 years he's been collecting and abusing the system in Australia, and that's why he had a Lamborghini. So that's a state Lamborghini.
It'd be even better if he's like, I was working. They just never stopped sending the checks.
That's ridiculous.
You think I'm not gonna cash that? Showed up at my doorstep.
Right? I mean, certain people you're like, this is a big check right here. I might be able to use that for a Lamborghini.
Oh, we're almost to the point where all the good sports cars go away from Tahoe.
Oh yeah.
It's that time of it's that season.
I mean, it can't really stay around any longer. They'll get stuck for sure.
Gets a little squirrely. I do like the holdouts though every now and then until like the first snow.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what's that doing here? Well, that's not going anywhere until it melts.
Dude, that 2 years ago, that Ferrari that was stuck in the parking lot. Not the Ferrari, the Corvette that was stuck in the parking lot.
Oh my god, the rental
Yeah.
Corvette wasn't even the guys. He was just like, I don't know what to do with it. And they're like, that's cool, we'll get it out there. And then you go out there and you're like, oh, it's on like 2 feet of ice. I don't think it was there forever.
Yeah.
Oh,
How much do you think they lost on that?
Fair amount.
yeah, probably a lot.
Because it was probably convertible.
No, it wasn't a convertible.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, lucky them.
It was the new Corvette, though.
It was the new mid-engine Corvette. It was just stuck in a hole
I mean, at
in the
that
snow.
point, you probably shouldn't even rent that out.
Well, here's my problem.
Up
is
here.
You look at it and you're like, bro, why didn't you just put that in the garage?
Yeah.
Like, why was it outside? Even when it started snowing, I would have been like, oh shit, I should probably go move the Corvette with the racing slicks into the garage.
I had a bigger question because it wasn't buried. It was on snow. How did he get it there?
Yeah, how did it get here?
Like,
I mean, it was an impressive
there was
feat.
snow under it.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
And then a lot of snow on top of it. That was the big year that we had. That was, 660 inches of
Oh,
lake level
yeah.
year.
Yeah, that
The
was
good year.
The Snowmageddon year. And in between that, it was just like 2 feet of ice compacted, this Corvette, and then like 2 more feet of snow around it. And you're just like, bro.
This is where you couldn't make it back to your house.
Yeah, and I lived here. I lived
And
like
you-
4 blocks from here. Couldn't make it to my house in my RAV4.
And he made it all the way
And
there.
he somehow got a fucking Corvette to be in the parking lot. I'm like, bro.
That's
What does
amazing.
James drive up in the winter? Poisonous chalk. And they don't, like, especially the new cars with electronics, like, you take that car out into that stuff, and it's going to cake everything. The electronics are never going to work right again. It's a disaster. And I saw someone rolling back the other day in their G-Wagon. Like, well, that's a shame. That $130,000 car is never going to work right again.
No, someone's doing us a favor. That car's terrible.
Is it?
It's a terrible car. It's so stupid.
It's basically the H1, right? But the Mercedes version.
Yeah, it's stupid. If it was the H1, it would be useful.
Yes.
It's a Mercedes. It's like overcomplicated. It's like if they stole the plans for the H1 and then they decided to like hand it to a German automaker. And
How
they're like,
can we 10x complicate this
yeah,
thing?
make this more German? And they were like, okay, and they just started doing things. That's a stupid.
They're like,
fucking
how can we
Mercedes.
make this an order of magnitude more difficult?
Yeah. Oh, so we have this way. We do this. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a German car. It kills me that they make that fucking 6-wheel beast.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a monster. And you're like, how is that not the G-Wagon? How did you get from there to here?
Dude, I was reading a little write-up on the guys at the end of the Grand Tour. I'm not going to lie, I was a little sad. Like, that's kind of emotional. I can't believe, like, Top Gear, like, my version of Top Gear is ending.
Gone. Yes. After 25 years?
And he said 22.
22? Yeah. I mean, you can go back and watch the first season and you're like, holy shit.
I
these
was
guys
brutal.
rule.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen every episode of Top Gear with those guys.
Yep.
And now it's just gone.
It's going to be over.
Like, it was okay when they left the first time because they went straight to Amazon.
So it was there.
And then Amazon, and then, like, they went away from the, weekly thing and just did the specials. And now the specials are gone. Like, it's just sad. And they're so funny. Like, the three of them together are hilarious.
yeah.
It's
They
just
are
'cause-
kind of running out of things to do.
No, that's fair. Dude, they end this one where they started, the first special.
Yes. They recreated the picture. Did
Yeah?
you see that?
I didn't see
the
that.
first Top Gear picture is recreated.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's hilarious.
It's not out yet.
Okay.
Yeah, special comes out next Friday. The whatever that is. The 16th?
Sounds right.
Yeah. 16th it'll be out.
I was just so disappointing. And we lost the other Top Gear, which finally got good again.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gone. It's
Yeah.
done too.
They canceled it after Freddie had that accident.
Uh,
I mean, it was a bad accident, apparently.
His face got messed up.
Freddie's a soccer player, isn't he?
Yeah. No, cricket.
Cricket. Okay.
Yeah, that other sport.
Yes. The other sport.
The one that nobody understands.
Dude, I had a guy in here on Monday. We were talking for, 45 minutes. And he goes, like 45 minutes in, we were talking about sports. He's like, yeah, I understand it a little bit. He goes, I played professional soccer. And everyone in here's like, what? Wait, you did what now? Yes.
Who did he play for?
He played for the Reno team, the Vegas team, and then he played for some international teams.
Oh, wow.
Jordan something. Jordan Els. I don't know, super cool guy. Just getting the cigars, like it was fun to have the cigar talk with him.
That's good.
Yeah,
He's a professional sports player, and he's just now getting into cigars.
yeah.
They've done him dirty.
He's opening a, well, he's already open. He's trying to get his own building, like a coaching. I don't know what you would call them. Like clinics. They do clinics for soccer players in Vegas.
Oh, just where they can go get extra coaching or something.
Yeah, or they can go advance their skills. It's a bunch of ex-MLS players. They can go, this is what you're going to have to be able to do to play MLS. It's like what quarterbacks do in high school if they want to play college, and college if they want to play in the pros.
So like a soccer camp.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Christian wants to know, has there been a noticeable impact around Tahoe with the hotel workers walking out?
No, I mean, no more than usual. Listen, Christian, Tahoe's used to it. Like, our employees are super transient anyway. Labor in Tahoe has been a battle for as long as I can remember. I mean, 20 years.
Everyone's leaving, especially now because all the J1s are leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This is the
they're going to
big-
be
My
working on
J1s
skeleton crews.
My J1s are gone a week from Sunday.
I think this is the last day in here for most of the J1s here.
You'll get new ones in a
Not
couple months,
until
right?
November.
Yeah, not November.
I mean, everyone gets new J1s in November up here.
Okay.
That's when the Argentinians show up.
Yeah. All the South American kids show up.
Okay.
Because they're all one season. They come from the south to go.
Dude,
"Let's
it's
go."
hilarious. Like, I have a kid now that's in law school. I had a girl last winter who's literally doing her residency right now for being a doctor. And they're like bussers and line cooks. You're like, why are you here? It can't be that. Like, you've got to be in a position where you could just come up here and hang out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they take that American money back, and it's got to still convert well.
Yeah, to the countries that we get, it does.
Yeah, like
That's why we lost all the Polish kids
yeah, it doesn't make sense anymore.
and gained like other countries in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yep. We had Lithuanians
Yeah.
this year.
I miss the Polish kids. They were a lot of fun.
I
Like
feel,
we had Polish J1s when I was a kid, like learning to deal blackjack. They were a blast.
But yeah, you don't see them anymore.
I figured the only reason why they would probably still do it is to go snowboarding or skiing up here.
That's
Yeah, but if you're from Northern Europe, do you really need that in your life? You've
Not
already
really.
got it.
Yeah.
You've got the Alps. They're a lot closer than the Sierra Nevadas.
the Swiss Alps, the French Alps, the Italian Alps,
I mean,
the Ural Mountains.
they don't do J1s in Japan, right?
No, I don't think I've ever had a Japanese J1. I've had most of the other Asian countries, but not
Okay.
Japan.
Yeah, Philippines. We've had Philippines.
Yeah,
I've even had Korea, which surprised me. Like South Korea, which is, doing well. But I've had South Korean J1s.
I thought that was more for work experience, J1s.
So it probably is.
Yeah. Get across the ocean, try something new.
I just don't see Japan coming out here because they have that Japow
Oh, Japanuary.
Japanuary
I want to go ride Japan so bad.
one day.
Yeah.
just hit up Ken. Just hit up
Right?
Ken. He'll take you. He's got skis. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Plan if we ever go down there. Would you take your skis or the board or both?
I would probably take a couple of boards.
Yeah.
I would take the just in case board, and I would take the board that's like, I hope it is what I think it is board. Yeah.
Just in case it's not. You're covered.
But also, Japan has legit snowboard manufacturers.
No.
Stuff that we can't get here.
Really?
Yeah. So you could just go like demo some really cool stuff. Yeah, they've got Yonex and Gentum Stick and a couple others. They're really good snowboards.
Bobby said when I worked Hyatt on the north side, they had Bulgarians.
Yep, I believe that.
Yeah, that's Eastern Bloc.
Yep.
Eastern Bloc broke. We get those guys all the time.
How's the mountain over there?
North Star?
Yeah.
It's flat.
Okay.
Yep, flat star.
You wouldn't go over there all that much.
The only day I rode North Star, being an employee, was employee ride day.
And you were,
Was it entertaining?
I mean, it's employee ride day. The only people up there are employees, so it's vacant.
So if it's got space, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if it's anything wide open is fun.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Did you already get your pass?
Yes.
I have not yet,
Yeah,
and I
when-
keep looking
I was
at
gonna say,
it.
when are you going to get yours?
You better get it soon. It's about to go up again.
I always get it when it goes up because I always forget about it
You
until
buy
now.
it last minute every year.
Well, this year I had to pay the IRS.
Dude, they added Sierra to the Icon Pass.
Did they?
Did
7
they
days.
Did they
Which
really?
I'm pretty sure. So Sierra, Booth Creek has been trying to sell Sierra for, I don't know, call it 20 years. I'm pretty sure this is a trial run. And if it goes well, then Altera is going to buy Sierra for next season.
Oh shit, that's
I
exciting.
mean,
If it goes well, they're gonna announce a closing deal in like September, October-ish.
their mountain's really good, isn't it?
It is a good mountain. It has no water for man-made snow.
Okay.
And Altera has, so there's a plan up there to put an internal reservoir at Sierra, which would make Sierra fantastic. But Booth Creek doesn't have the money to do it. Altera would. They would do just like when Vail bought Kirkwood and they finally ran power into the valley, so it wasn't run on generators. Altera would have the money to put an internal reservoir on the mountain, so they could man-make snow. Because you can't. The Sierra Nevadas, early season, the Sierra Nevadas can be disastrously bad. Like you need to be able to make snow up here to be competitive. I mean, this is Homewood's problem too. Homewood's a great mountain, but Homewood has no water resources.
Right.
Who has Big Bear?
I think it's Big Bear's its own. Maybe Powder. No, I don't think Powder owns it. I think it's private.
Yeah, I think it's its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was out there in 2011 and the snow looked really good. But mind you,
It's never really good.
I wasn't snowboarding out at that time. I was
It's
fishing.
It's never really good. It's too hot down there.
Fair.
It's too close to LA.
It's like Charleston outside of Vegas.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Soup Mountain.
I mean, you go a little bit north of that. Like you go south of Kirkwood, but not by much. Like Dodge Ridge and those supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, I was only there for a marriage retreat that the Army made me go to, and I didn't even want to go to it, but it was.
The Army Forces marriage retreats.
They do, especially when they have slots. They're like, oh, you're going.
That's horrifying.
Do I have to?
That's scary.
Yes, because you're the new soldier. Come
Yeah.
on.
So it's a voluntold retreat.
Correct.
You've been voluntold, son. I said that at work the other day, and someone's like, "What?" I'm like, "You've never heard that?"
Never heard being voluntold?
I love that. How'd that go over?
They just laughed at me.
Do you have to explain it?
Yeah. I mean, it only took about 40 seconds, but
Yeah.
it's voluntary, but
Listen,
not really.
I asked for hands, but guess what? Yours wasn't up, so I called you.
Yeah. Like it just feels like law school all over again.
All the democratic decisions made by autocritic decision leaders.
Yeah. All right. How long have we been doing this? It's got to be over an hour.
108.
108.
Yep.
You guys want to cut a little short tonight?
We can.
Yeah.
Let's do that. We'll go record our reviews and, Proofonomics. I love the name, though.
Proofonomics works.
Yeah.
Did we settle on which one we were going with?
Oh.
Oh.
Proofonomics.
Yeah. That's the one that makes the most sense.
Yes, Professor of Proofonomics.
He's the professor. That's his
His new moniker.
yeah, his nickname.
The prof.
Professor Armstrong.
I like it.
Yeah, right? It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, what do you guys think? We done?
Let's wrap it up. Take us home, Kevin.
Kevin's like, I don't want to.
All right, that's
I
been
don't know
another
how.
Big Ash Live.
Trying to remember what
If you
button
guys
to
made
push.
it this far, go ahead and do the YouTube stuff, and we'll see you on